Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope you all are fine and safe. So, let us start our online class. This is your history class. So, see, we have finished up to 15th lesson, right? So, as you know, the 16th lesson was omitted, and let us move on to the 17th lesson. Okay, so 17th unit, this is unit number 17, the effects of British rule. You take your history reader, which is the page number 264, and you check there, because I will say many meanings. So please take the pencil and mark the meanings over there, whatever I am saying. Okay, shall we start? Okay, let us start our class. Unit 17, effects of British rule. Okay, so in this lesson we are going to study what are the effects of British rule. So let's see the introduction part. See the introduction. The general breakdown of central authority in the wake of Mughal falls resulted in English trading company taking over India. So when the central part of the Mughal Empire falls, the English East India Company took charge over India. So when English East India Company charge over India after the Mughal falls. Okay. Initially, the English East India Company focus was not on administration. Its aim was ensuring smooth trade. So what was the focus of English East India Company initially? Their focus was a smooth trade. What is trade? Trade means business, right? So first their focus was a smooth trade. Okay, then they ensure a smooth administration after that. So, however, after the terrible Bengal famine of 1770, they began to exercise power with some responsibility. So, but after the Bengal famine, when the Bengal famine is on 1770. So, which is very important. The Bengal famine is on 1770. So, after that, the English East India Company, they exercised their power with some responsibility. Okay, they started their administration. They take care of their administration after the Bengal famine. So notwithstanding with their exploitative economic policy, their professed objective was the safety of the people. So what was their main aim? Their main aim was the safety of the people. They want to improve their economic policy, but at the same time they give importance to the safety of the people. Okay, the justification for their expansionist policy was the extermination of tyranny of the local rulers. So because of the tyranny of the local rulers and the harassment by the robbers, marauders, they want to establish their administration. Okay, tyranny means what? As we studied, what is tyranny in Tamil? It is called kodumai. Okay, tyranny of by whom? The local rulers and the harassment of robbers means what? Robbers and marauders. What is marauders? Kollayargal in Tamil. Okay, the one who looted things, that is called marauders. Because of them they want to establish their country. Railway and telegraph introduced for easier communication, and the English East India Company established railway and telegraph for the easier communication. Also served the purpose of curbing resistance and the control of local population. So why they established the railway and telegraph? Because to serve the local population. Curbing resistance means control the local population. However, their agrarian and the commercial policies has a ruinous impact on the economy. So their agrarian, what is mean by agrarian? Agrarian means what? Agricultural. Okay, so there to improve their agrarian, agricultural and the commercial means the trade policy, they had a ruinous impact on the economy. by their policies over agrarian and the commercial has destroyed the economic policy in India. But the British East India Company's policies over the agrarian and the commercial destroyed the economic policy. India's wealth was drained in several forms. So the wealth of the Indians were drained in several forms. Okay. By the 1830 there was large scale emigrations of ruined peasants. When 1830 there was large scale emigration. What is mean by emigration? The movement of the people from own country to other country. What? The movement of the people from their own country to other country is known as emigration. Why the people move? They are moving for the better employment opportunity. The emigrations of ruined. Who emigrated? The peasants and the weavers. Peasants means what? Farmers, right? And the weavers to plantation in the British Empire country, where they emigrated to the British Empire country for the better economic opportunity. Okay, so these are all about the introduction part. Let us move on to the 17.1. What is it? Establishment of British Raj. Okay, the establishment of British Raj. So let's see what are the things happen after the establishment of the British. Okay, Buxar was the real foundation battle for the British dominion in India. Not only the Nawab of Bengal and Oudh, but the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II and his Prime Minister were also opposed to the British. So what is it? After the Battle of Buxar, the British started their dominancy in India. So when the British started their dominancy? After the Battle of Buxar. The Bengal of Oudh and the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam also opposed whom? The British. Okay, so who and all opposed the British? Nawab of Bengal and Oudh also, and the Shah Alam also opposed the British. Okay, as a result of the Battle of Buxar, the company ceased to be a company of merchant and became a formidable political force. Okay, so what's the result? What happened when they oppose? So as a result of the Battle of Buxar, the company ceased to be a company of merchant and became a formidable strong force. They became the strong force. Who? The company became the strong force. Okay, so under the pretext of corruption in Bengal administration, Clive was appointed the governor of Fort William. So under the pretext of the corruption of Bengal, who was appointed? Robert Clive was appointed as the governor of Fort William. So the Robert Clive was appointed as the governor of where? Fort William. Okay, so he was the governor of Fort William. So Clive did not like his predecessor. So Clive did not like his predecessor. Who was his predecessor? Vansittart. Who? Vansittart. Okay, predecessor means what? The predecessor means what? One who worked before, one who became the governor before the Robert Clive. Okay, so Clive did not like his predecessor Vansittart decision. What was his decision? His decision was to restore Oudh to Shah Alam. Okay, his decision was to restore Oudh to Shah Alam. So he called for fresh negotiation. Negotiation means what? With Shujauddaulah. Fresh negotiation in Tamil. What is it? It's a discussion. Negotiation means what? Discussion. With whom? Shujauddaulah. So as a result of these two treaties of Allahabad were tried. So after the discussion, what happened? Two treaties of Allahabad were signed. What do you mean by treaties? Treaties means an agreement. What? It's an agreement. Okay, so the treaties were signed. Which treaty? treaties of Allahabad were signed. The emperor granted the, so what is in that treaty? The emperor, the Mughal emperor, they granted the Diwani. So what do you mean by Diwani? Diwani means what? It's a revenue administration. It's a name of the revenue administration given to the people, that is called Diwani. Okay, so Diwani of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa to the company. So what is in the treaty? The emperor granted the Diwani of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa to where? To the company. They give the revenue administration to the company. The emperor Alam Shah II was to get the districts of Allahabad and Kora beside an annual allowance of 26 lakhs of rupees from the revenue of Bengal. Okay, the emperor, which emperor? Who was the emperor? Shah Alam II. He was to get the district of Allahabad and Kora. So he got that district, and also the annual allowance of how much rupee? 26 lakhs of rupees from the revenue of Bengal. From the revenue of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa, Shah Alam got 26 lakhs of rupees. Okay, the province of Oudh was restored to Shujā-ud-Dawla. So the province of Oudh was given to whom? Shujā-ud-Dawla. Okay, on the payment of war indemnity. What is it? War indemnity means what? Por Izhappeedu. Okay, war indemnity means what? Por Izhappeedu in Tamil. Okay, so the provinces of Oudh was restored means what? Bring back. The provinces of Oudh was give back to the Shujā-ud-Dawla on the payment of war indemnity. See, students, you should write all the meanings over there, whatever I am saying. When you come for correction, I will check all the meanings, whether it should be there or not. So, you should mark all the meanings in the reader as in the classroom. Okay? Whatever you are doing in the class, you should write it. And of course, I am going to give the homework also. So, please listen all those things. Okay? And write the meanings over there. I will check all your books. Okay, moving on. Then the treaties held the Nawab of Bengal responsible for the governance of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. The treaties means this agreement held the Nawab of Bengal responsible for what? The governance of, to govern the Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Okay, let's move on to the next para. Before the emperor granted the Diwani to Clive, the Nawab of Bengal, successor of Mir Jafar, has practically transferred the Nizamat. So before the emperor granted to Diwani means what? Which administration? Yes, revenue administrations, right? Before the emperor granted the Diwani to whom? The emperor granted the revenue administration to Robert Clive, the Nawab of Bengal. What happened? Who is the Clive? He was the Nawab of Bengal. The successor of Mir Jafar has practically. So, the Nizamat was under the control of Mir Jafar. He transferred all his power to the company. Nizamat means what? Civil administration. Where Diwani is the which administration? Revenue administration. So, the emperor they planned to hand over the Diwani to Robert Clive. Before itself, his successor means what? Higher means he studied Varis, right? Successor means what? Varis in Tamil. Successor of Mir Jafar has transferred his. So, successor of the Mir Jafar has the power of Nizamat means civil administration, but he hand over it to the company. So, the company had to function as Diwan and the Nizam. Okay, so now the company have two powers. What are they? Diwan and the Nizam. Okay, the Diwan's duty include the collection of revenue and the control of civil justice. What was the duty of Diwan? Their duty was to collect the revenue and the control of civil justice. Okay. The Nizam's function. While what was the function of Nizam? Nizam. Nizam means it's not a name, it's a power, it's a proposition. What it is belongs to civil administration. That is the Nizam, Nizamat. Okay. Then Divan's duty include the collection of revenue and the collection of civil justice. The Nizam's function was to exercise what? Military power and to dispense criminal justice. So what was the function of Nizam's? To exercise military and dispense criminal justice. Okay, this is also, you can take it as a one word questions. Okay, thus the company acquired the real power. Now the company, English East India Company, had the real power, while the responsibility of the administration was with the Nawab. Who has the power now? With the Nawab. Okay, this arrangement is called what? Dual system or double government or diarchy. So what is dual system? Government have both of the power. Here what are the two powers? They carry on. What are the two powers? Revenue administration and the civil administration, right? Diwani and the Nizamat. By the controlling the two power is called what? Dual system or double government or diarchy. Okay, so that is diarchy. Okay, so but soon the dual system began to break down. Soon the dual system began to break down. Why the breakdown? Let's see. Governance without responsibility lead to the outbreak of terrible famine in 1770. So after the terrible famine in 1770 leads to the outbreak of dual government system. Okay, nearly 1/3 of the Bengal population perished due to this famine in 1770. Many of the Bengal populations were perished. Perished means what? Die. Okay, they died. The people were died due to the famine. Okay, the miseries of the provinces were intensified by the company servants who had monopolized the sale of rice and realized huge profits. But they have the some people have the responsibility of selling the rice and earn the huge profit. Okay, so the miseries of the provinces were intensified by the company servants. The company servants, they sell the rice and earn the huge profits. Okay, finally the company realized its responsibility and passed the Regulating Act of 1773. Okay, so the Regulating Act is on which year? 1773. Okay, Warren Hastings was appointed the Governor General of Bengal. So who was the Governor General of Bengal after 1773? Warren Hastings. So Warren Hastings was the what? Governor of Bengal after 1773. Okay, see in this box here, the administrative head of East India Company was governor. So the administrative head of East India Company was, who was the head of East India Company? Who was the administrative head? Governor. That is, we studied, isn't it? Who was initially Robert Clive was the governor of Fort William, or it is also known as Fort St. George until 1772. Until 1772, governor was the head of Fort William. Warren Hastings, who was the governor of Fort William, was made Governor General of Bengal according to the Regulating Act of 1773. So after 1772, the Warren Hastings, who was the governor of Fort William, who made Governor General of Bengal according to which act? After the Act of 1773. Okay, the Charter Act. Charter Act means what? The authorization. It's an authorization, isn't it? The Charter Pattaya Chattam. In Tamil it is called what? Pattaya Chattam. Okay. A Charter Act in 1833 designated his post as Governor General. Means what? Authorized his post, appointed his post. Okay. As what? Governor General of India, and William Bentinck was appointed the first Governor General of United British India. So who was the Governor General of United British India? Who was the first Governor General? Who? William Bentinck was appointed as the first Governor General of United British India. Okay, the Governor General was selected by the court of the directors of East India Company, to whom he was responsible. Then, after the Great Rebellion of 1857, so what do you mean by rebellion? Rebellion means what? Revolt. Revolt means outbreak. In Tamil it is called a Purachi, right? Rebellion. After the rebellion of 1857, when the government of India was transferred from the East India Company to the Crown, the title Viceroy and the Governor General was first used in the Queen's Proclamation of 1858. So, what is it? The title, the Viceroy and the Governor General was who proclaimed the Queen Victoria, proclaimed the name as Viceroy and the Governor General, and it was first used in when? After the Queen's Proclamation of 1858. Okay, the Canning was the first Viceroy and Governor General of India, accountable to the British Parliament. So, who was the first Viceroy and Governor General? Canning was the first Viceroy and the Governor General of India, accountable to the what? British Parliament. Okay. Next one is 17.2. What is it? In this topic, we are going to study about land tenures, permanent settlements and the right-of-way settlements. Land tenures means what? What is the meaning of tenure? In Tamil it is called a Nirvaga Murai. Okay. So, what are the land tenures? That what is it established by the British? Let's see. The Regulating Act of 1773. So, the Regulating Act is on which year? 1773. Imposed on the Court of Directors the legal obligation of informing all revenue transaction of the company servants to the British Treasury. So, what is it about? So, after this Regulating Act of 1773, the revenue transaction of the company servants were maintained. It should be recordically corrected. So, after the Act of 1773, the revenue transaction or the money transactions of the company servants were maintained. The governor and the council consist of commander-in-chief and 2 councillors. So, it is a board, right? It is a board. Board means what? It's consisting of some members to control their treasury works. Okay. Who are all in there? The governor and the council consist of, it's a council, it's a team consisting of commander-in-chief and 2 councillors act as the board of revenue, which discussed revenue matters. So, who and all discussed? Commander-in-chief, 2 councillors, governors, everyone. They discussed about they are in the board of revenue and they discussed about the revenue matters. So, the Pitt India Act of 1784. What is Pitt? So, the Pitt India Act is on which year? 1784. Separated the civil and military establishment in India. What the Pitt India Act do? It separated the civil and military establishment in India. So, when is on Pitt India Act? It is of 1784. Governor General Cornwallis himself a big landlord. So, who was the Governor General? Cornwallis. He himself a big landlord. Landlord means what? Nila Prabhu, right? Landlord means the person who owned land. Okay, that is the landlord. Himself a big landlord. Wanted to create landlords after the British model in India. They wanted to create a British model in India. So, let's see what is the British model. The Crown Body came to the settlement with the revenue farmers. They went to the discussion with the with the farmers. What is the discussion? This resulted in the creation of new type of middleman. He is a landlord So in between the peasant and the landlord, he appoint a middleman. The middleman is called what? Zamindars. The middleman is called zamindars because he gives land to the zamindars. Zamindars appoint some workers. The peasants, the poor peasants, they want to work under the zamindars and they collect the tax from them, right? So that is the middleman called what? Zamindari system. That is, middleman is called zamindar. Reducing the cultivators to the position for mere tenants. Okay, tenants means what? The person who rented land from landlords. Okay, so the tenants, they want to rent land from the zamindars and they cultivate. The settlement that Crown Valley made with the zamindars of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa in 1793. So they started the zamindari system in where and all? Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. In which year? 1793. In pursuance of the instruction from the directors is called what? Permanent settlements. Permanent settlement means what? The many people, they, what is it, emigrated to some other places. They left their own place and they moved to the other places and started permanent settlement there. They used to live there permanently. Okay, settlements refers to the assessment and fixing of the quantum of land revenue to paid by each zamindar to the government. So they collect the tax. Zamindars collect the tax from where? From the peasants, right? Send the zamindar give back the tax to the government. Okay, paid each zamindar to the government. For Bengal, Bihar and the Orissa, this was fixed permanently. There is a fixed amount of rate is fixed, revenue is fixed in Bengal, Bihar and the Orissa, and the zamindar was also there. Thus the zamindars who were originally tax collectors acquired hereditary right over the land assigned. Means they have the zamindars. After one zamindar died, they have the right, what is to take charge by the hereditary, their waris. Okay, the zamindar, the charge of the the zamindars is transferred as hereditary. Okay, the land assigned by the government. Zamindars pocketed whatever they collected over and above the settlement. So but the zamindar pocketed means what? They collect more tax from the people and they didn't give to the government. They take all in their own purposes. Okay, the first quarter of the 19th century was a formative period in the land revenue history of the Madras provinces. So in the first quarter, it was a system which followed in the Madras provinces. Okay, first after a great deal of deliberation, permanent settlement was adopted. So after some deal, the permanent settlement of the peasants were adopted. The districts of Chengalpattu, Salem and the Dindigul were divided into a number of mittas. Okay, so all these districts were divided into the number of mittas. Okay, they divided into mittas, it's a name, mittas, and sold to the higher bidders. The land were divided as mittas, like the provinces, it is also mittas. Okay, and they giving to the highest bidders means what? ஏலதாரர்கள், ஏலத்துக்கு கொடுக்குறவங்க. Okay, to the highest bidders. Most of the purchasers after fleecing the peasants, but the purchasers, they fleecing the peasant. Fleecing means what? கொள்ளையடிக்கிறது. Okay, they cheated the peasants, failed in course of a year or two. The experiment was therefore abandoned, but this experiment was abolished. Then the Board of Revenue tried a system of village leases. Then after that, so they lived that system, Bitta system. Then the Board of Revenue tried a system of village leases. Lease குத்தகைக்கு எடுக்கிறது. Okay, they started the board. Who started? The Board of Revenue started that system. Under the village lease system, the assessment of each village was to be fixed for a period of 3 years. So what is it? Each village were taken lease by some people. So okay, குத்தகைக்கு எடுத்தாங்க. Okay, village lease system, the assessment of each village was to be fixed for the period for 3 years based on the actual collection over a series of past years. Okay, in district where Mirasi right existed, the Mirasdar was made responsible for rent collection. Okay, so then they started what? Mita system. They leave the Mita system and they move on to the Mirasi system. What? Mirasi system. There the Mirasdar was the responsibility of the collection of tax. In district where the Mirasi's right did not exist, an arrangement was made with the village headman. So who was? If the Mirasis was not there, village headman was the responsibility of collecting the tax. This system failed due to various reasons such as bad monsoon, low price of grains and short period of lease. So but the system failed due to the such reasons. Okay, when crops failed, entire villages defaulted and fled without paying the revenue. But the people, when the crop failed, the people didn't pay the revenue. The government had to seek the help of the district collectors to bring back the peasant to the village. The government seek help. They get the help from the district collectors to bring back the peasants to the village. Okay, so see in this box, Mahalwari system, right? See in the, look at the box. Mahalwari system was introduced in which year? 1833, during the period of William Bentinck. So during whose period the Mahalwari system was introduced? William Bentinck. In which year? 1833. Under the system, the revenue settlement was made with the proprietor of the estate, but the land revenue was collected from the individual cultivator. So what is about the Mahalwari system? The revenue settlements, the taxes were collected by the proprietor of the estate, but the land revenue was collected by the individual cultivators. That was the about Mahalwari system. Okay, let us move on to the next para. See, by 1814, the court of directors had decided to introduce the Rayotwari system. Then which system came? Rayotwari system. What is Rayotwari system? It's a system of land tenure in which land taxes are paid to the state. Okay, the tax is paid to the state. It is a system of land tenure system, but the tax is paid to the state. That is called what? Rayotwari system. It was introduced after 1814. This was a system formulated by the governor Thomas Munro. So who introduced Rayotwari system? Thomas Munro introduced Rayotwari system. Under this system, the riot and anglicization by the British in India of the Arabic word raya. So the Rayotwaris came from which word? The Arabic word raya, meaning the peasant or cultivator. So Rayotwari system means, Rayot means what? The peasant. Peasant means what? Farmer, or the cultivator means one who cultivate their land. So that is called what? Rayotwari system. So the peasant or the cultivator was the proprietor and the taxpayer of the land. That is about Rayotwari system. There is no middleman or there is no zamindar. So there is a direct dealing with the peasant and the cultivator. That is the Rayotwari system. Okay, the government dealt with him directly without the intervention of any middleman. There is no middleman. Middleman means what? The zamindar, such people, the people that is between the government and the peasant, that is the middleman. The peasant was entitled to possession of land so long as he paid the land revenue. Okay, the peasants was entitled. So once the peasant is not giving the land revenue, they have to government have to get back the land from the peasants. Okay, that is it. Apart from the eviction, the default could result in the achievement of lively stock. The government, what is it? They abolish their lively stock, household property and the personal belongings. If the peasant is not giving the tax properly, the government allow them to live in their land or to cultivate or live in the or to use that land. they should not keep any things in their land. Okay, the government assess the revenue of each cultivated field. Okay, so they government provide revenue, means they appoint some revenue, they assessed some revenue for each cultivated field. The revenue assessment was reviewed once in 30 years. So every 30 years the revenue became changed, taking into account the change in the grain prices. How the revenue changed? Depending upon the grains prices, marketing opportunity, irrigation facility, and the like. Okay, based on this the revenue become changed. The Rayodwari system introduced the concept of private property in the land. So the Rayodwari system introduced what? Private property in the land. The individual holders were registered and issued patta. So the Rayodwari system is very useful for the local peasants and the cultivators. So the individual also they hold, where the individual holders were registered and issued patta. Patta, you know, I think, right, isn't it? That is the authorization for the land. They were permitted to, so the farmers they have the permission to sell, lease, mortgage, or transfer the right over land. Okay, they can sell or they can give lease, and they can transfer their property to others. That is about the Rayodwari system. See, there is one box is there. Yes, Thomas Munro. Who was Thomas Munro? We studied. Let us see. Munro arrived. See, he is the one who introduced the Rayodwari system, right? Munro arrived Madras in 1780. Okay, when 1780, in the first 12 years he was engaged in Mysore war as a soldier. So in the first 12 years he became a soldier. In which war? Mysore war. He worked in the Baramahal, where is it? Salem district from 1792 to 1799, and Kanara from 1799 to 1800. He was the collector of ceded district. What are the district? Kadapa, Kurnool, Chittoor, and Anantapur. Ceded districts are, what are they? Kadapa, Kurnool, Chittoor, and Anantapur. Okay, it was during the period he convinced the idea of Rayodwari settlement. Okay, so and that period he think about the Rayodwari settlements. In 1820 he became the governor of Madras Presidency. So when he became the governor of Madras Presidency? 1820. Okay, and served for how many years? 7 years. Okay, in 1822 he officially enforced the Rayodwari system. So when he introduced the introduced the Rayodwari system in 1822 in Madras. During his governorship he gave attention to educate and regarded any expenditure on it as investment. He also emphasized the need for Indianization of the service. Then he died of cholera. When he died because of the cholera at where? Pattikonda, that is in Kurnool district, in July 1827. He is a very popular governor. People constructed shrines in his corner. Okay, because for him the people constructed shrines, statues, and named their children after him. They give their children the name of the children as Thomas Munro. Then his statue was erected at Madras in 1839 by public subscription. So his statue was also erected in where? Madras. In which year? 1839. So today we finished 17 introduction, then 17.1 and 17.2. And what is the today's homework? So in this today's homework you have to find as you know the one word question from which lesson? From the page number 264 up to 17.2, which is in the 267 top. Okay, so up to that you have to find the 20 fill up the blanks, write with the date. Okay, write with the date. You have to find 20 meaningful fill up the blanks. And what's the study portion? See, we have completed up to third lesson, right? Unit 3. We have completed the cyclic test up to unit 3. Study the unit 4. So in the unit 4, you can see 4.1 and 4.2, just 2 topics are there, right? So study all the fill in the blanks. Then what are the short answers in the 4.1 and 2? I think already you have marked, right? So you have to study the short answers, brief answers, and the detailed questions from the 4th unit. So 4th unit, which is very small unit, 4.1 and 4.2 are there. So you have to study the 13th lesson. Okay, 13th lesson. So there also for 11th and 12th lesson we have finished in the second volume. Then we have to study the 13th lesson, which is a full topic. So after the 4.1 and 4.2 in the unit 4, you have to come to the 13th lesson and study that lesson also. So don't play unnecessary, or don't use the holiday very in a useful manner. Okay, so exam must be there. So study well. And or what is it, when you come for note correction, I will ask questions, and cyclic exam and everything should be there. So study well, study all the subjects, don't waste the time unnecessarily. So stay safe. Let us meet in the next class. Thank you.